Hey brothers and sisters, today is July 30th, 2023. Some things I need to share with you guys. I shared a dream a few days ago and I just need to replay this again. So here we go. Hey brothers and sisters, it's July 28th, 2023. I just a few minutes ago uploaded a video and forgot to mention two other things that happened in this dream that I didn't share in my community post the other day. I need more coffee, apparently. So, again, in the dream, I saw 5 openings in a forest type of area, like I was standing in a forest. And I knew that these 5 openings were where Russia could send something really bad in. Okay? And then it's like the scene changed, but I was still kind of in the same forest area. And I saw this really long, skinny, narrow chicken coop. And there were a whole bunch of chickens inside of it. And all of a sudden, there was this man with me, and he told me that we needed to cover up the chickens. And he had this big, long, black sheet. And he had one end, and I had the other end. And we placed it over this entire chicken coop, like completely covered it, to protect the chickens from something, which I'm not sure what it is, but obviously not something good. And then the scene changed again, and I saw this area on the ground, and it was a very, very small circle. And it's like the circle had been hand-tilled, and then all of a sudden I saw corn seeds just landing in them by themselves. I didn't see someone putting them in. It's like the corn seeds just fell onto this tilled circle of ground. And then they instantly grew to be completely full corn, like they were ready to harvest. And I'm not sure what exactly that part means yet, but the Holy Spirit really wanted me to share the other 2 parts. Okay. I also wanted to share that Brother Chris, the Lord told him, well, he showed him some numbers one night when he was asking him things. And he saw the number 10, and then he saw 2 7s. So in the Bible, the meaning of the number 10 is one of testimony, law, responsibility, and the completeness of order. Basically means God's complete order. And the number 7 means fullness and completion. So we saw 10 and 2 7s. Okay? And then, many years ago, I've shared this on my channel years ago. I was just folding laundry. Wasn't thinking about anything at all, just folding laundry. And the Lord audibly spoke to me. And he said, Joseph. And I knew which Joseph he was referring to. So I'm just going to read some scripture to you guys. And I'm going to end up connecting all this here soon. This is from Genesis 4. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed. And behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine and fat-fleshed, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke. And he slept and dreamed the second time. And behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Hold on one second. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored. And they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill-favored, and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and the ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored, as at the beginning. So I awoke. And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered thin, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, The dream of Pharaoh is one. God has shewed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he sheweth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by God. That's what the number 10 means. And God will shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out at a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. So Chris saw a number 10 and 2 7s. 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine. God's complete order, and 2 7s. I believe we're at the very, very, very threshold of the end of the 7 years of plenty, and Jacob's trouble is about to start. And I believe that that corn, that very small circle of corn that was hand-tilled, I didn't see a hand putting the corn in the dirt. I just saw the corn seeds fall into it. And I believe that represents God supernaturally providing for the remnant in Israel that will be saved. And then I saw the corn, as soon as those seeds dropped into the ground, I saw that corn fully grown and ready to harvest. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stonest them which are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy chickens together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. So I was this man told me that we needed to cover the chickens. He had a long black sheet. He had one end, I had another. He told me we needed to cover them, and then we covered the chickens up to protect them. One second. So an adjective for the word desolate, one of the words for it is black. And we were putting a black sheet over the chickens. Yet at the same time, we were protecting them. God will protect Israel. He will protect his remnant, and he will provide for them. Then I wanted to share this dream that I had early this morning. In the dream, I was an owl, and people kept following me everywhere I went. I went into a building, and my Jewish friend was there. And inside this building, there was a rectangular pool inside. I was sitting in it as myself, not the owl. Then a man was bringing in one of those new rectangular pools. And then I flew away. Okay, so this is a rectangular pool. It's called a mikveh. It's a Jewish indoor pool for baptism and other things, for purification. The mikveh is used for cleansing before a wedding also. And I believe that the new pool that was coming in represented Israel's refinement, their cleansing during the time of Jacob's trouble. The warnings have gone out, and it's time to fly away home. Jacob's trouble is about to start, and the rapture of the church is any moment now. This is from Job 12:7-9. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. Who knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord hath wrought this? In the Bible, in general, birds are known as divine messengers. Isaiah 13:21. But desert creatures will lie there, jackals will fill her houses. There the owls will dwell, and there the wild goats will leap about. Micah 1:8. Because of this I will weep and wail. I will go about barefoot and naked. I will howl like a jackal and moan like an owl. The prophet Jeremiah reveals the destruction of Babylon and the lingering desolation of the city, whose only dwellers are owls, hyenas, and other creatures of the desert. In the book of Psalms, the owl is represented by the loneliness of the afflicted heart of the psalmist. Psalm 102. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and let my cry come unto thee. Hide not thy face from me in the day when I am in trouble. Incline thine ear unto me in the day when I call. Answer me speedily. For my days are consumed like smoke, and my bones are burned as an hearth. My heart is smitten and withered like grass, so that I forget to eat my bread. By reason of the voice of my groaning, my bones cleave to my skin. I am like a pelican of the wilderness. I am like an owl of the desert. I watch and am as a sparrow alone upon the housetop. I was an owl, and people kept following me everywhere I went. I went into a building, and my Jewish friend was there. There was a rectangular pool inside, and I was sitting in it as myself, not the owl. Then a man was bringing in a new one, and then I flew away. Which is known as a mikvah. It's used for cleansing and cleansing before a wedding. The new one represents Israel's refinement and cleansing during Jacob's trouble. The warnings have gone out. It's time to fly away. And I shared this on my community post earlier. Cleansing before a wedding, which I just read. Sitting on my porch earlier, wasn't thinking about anything, and I heard very loudly in my spirit, a man's voice say, "Opa!" Just like that. Opa is a common Mediterranean, Eastern European, Middle Eastern, North African, South American, and Jewish emotional expression. It is frequently used during celebrations such as weddings or traditional dancing. Seek the Lord while he may still be found. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Just believe. Jesus spoke of children often and how blessed they were because children just believe and they trust. They rest in it. Jesus said, "Surely I tell you, unless you become as one of these little children, surely I tell you, you will not enter the kingdom." It's all about Jesus. He knew no sin and became sin for you and nailed it to the cross forever. Paid in full. It is finished. It's a free gift that none of us deserve and none of us can earn. He did it all for the glory of love. Love you guys. Hold fast.